Hello everybody, Interintere back again with another video. Yeah guys, I want to talk a little about the big three, the biggest tennis players of all time that we have in this lovely sport of tennis, this beautiful sport of tennis. These big three, we love to see them playing tennis, we love to see them perform, we love to see them get to the tennis courts. They're like artists. They are like magicians, all three of them. And the big three I'm talking about is Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer. So I want to talk a little about these big three because they have taken our sport to different levels, to levels that we have never seen before, and they surely will be missed when they will retire. And I definitely don't hope that they will not retire for a long while, even though we all know that that sad black day will, of course, come one day. But what I want to talk about is in this video, I will talk a little about French Open as well on the end of the video, because we have a Grand Slam tournament who is on the current moment, who is being played in Paris, but it is still early on. I can talk a little about French Open in the beginning, then I will talk a little. And one more thing I want to say, guys. I had a comment that one of the subscribers or viewers said, Inter, you're doing too long videos. Some of us don't have time seeing 20, 30, 40 long minute videos. So I will try to keep this short, guys. I don't want you to hate me. I don't want to make you bored. So I will try to keep this short. Because I want to make you satisfied, guys. I don't want to take time away from you. Alright, I will try to make this short. French Open, so far, everything is expected. Guys, when I say everything is expected, I truly mean everything has been expected. Yeah, we have some high-seeded players who have been knocked out. Medvedev, that was not a surprise to me. Absolutely not. I never had Medvedev as one of my top 8 favorite players on the top 8 list. You have followed my channel, you have seen my preview, you know who of those top 8 players was. And it was surely not Daniel Medvedev. But to be quite honest, I didn't think he would lose. I expected him to have troubles against Fucsovics, absolutely, because I know Fucsovics, he has faced Djokovic 2 times in his career, and he has taken sets in both of those 2 matches against Djokovic. So I knew Fucsovics would be in big trouble for Medvedev, and I thought it will be maybe an upset alert. But I thought that maybe Medvedev this year around will take his first ever win in French Open. He has lost 3 previous first round matches in French Open. Now I thought to myself, finally he will win his first ever match in French Open, but he couldn't, he lost. But not a surprise there. Coric lost as well, not a surprise there. Coric who did a great run in US Open, but we all know that Coric is the inconsistent king. So of course Coric, he showed up, he showed to us that what I did in New York, it was just a coincidence. Now I'm back on track again, losing first and second rounds. And of course he lost the first round. Then clowns like Fognini and Monfils, they're clowns, guys, so that was not any new news. We all knew that Fognini and Monfils, they are more or less done as a player. Fognini, he always starts the years good and wins a couple of tournaments on the early of the years, like he has done this year. I believe he has won 2 tournaments this year, Fognini. But we all know that Fognini is a big clown, so you can never expect big things from him. But usually he has done some great runs in French Open in his home soil before. But when Fognini loses, I mean Monfils, I'm sorry, not Fognini. Monfils usually has done great runs in French Open before in his home soil. Monfils, he has a semi-final appearance here in the past, I believe 2008, lost to Federer there. And he has done quarterfinals as well, he's played against Federer in French Open in the past. 2009, lost to Federer there. And he has done some great runs in the past as well. 3 fourth round matches, third round matches, Monfils. But time has come, is getting into him. He's not yet very young anymore. I believe he's in the same age as Nadal, so I believe he's 34 years old, Monfils. And we all know he's a lazy player. He's a spent, talented player. Guys, I have contacts really close of them who have said that Monfils is not a role model for young players, because if young players see how he trains, they will think that it is, you can become like Monfils, be a professional tennis player and earn millions like he has done by training like him, because he can train someday 2 hours. Yeah, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours. But someday he can train just 15 minutes. 15 minutes and he leaves the courts. He's probably the laziest tennis player that we have ever seen together with Kyrgios, Gael Monfils, because he's a shot maker, but you can never trust in him. So, am I surprised he lost in the first round? Absolutely not. Am I surprised that Fognini, another shot maker, lost the first round? Absolutely not. Didn't count with these guys in my top 8 list. Then, what else of surprises have we have a little surprise? Krajinovic lost against a Serbian player. That was little surprised. To be quite honest, I didn't expect that. I at least thought that Krajinovic would go to a third round at least, but didn't expect that. To be quite honest, that Krajinovic will lose the first round. No. So most or less, it has been win and losses of this French Open expected. Team did a great match against, not maybe, but solid match against Cilic. Schwartzman, very solid match in his first round, only lost a few games. He looked really solid, Schwartzman. Zverev looked solid in his first match, did only 2 double faults. So maybe Zverev has fixed that second horrible serve of his. Maybe, but I have to see Zverev play more matches if he can keep those double faults low. He at least did only two in his first match. So Nadal, of course, he didn't look superior. He'd lost 10 games. That is not usual to Rafa Nadal to lose 10 games in a first round match in French Open. He usually just loses 3 or 4, 5 as maximum. But he lost 10. But it was a solid first match from Rafa Nadal. So, all in all, the matches in French Open has been really expected so far. Now I want to talk about the big 3. Because I have some comments about Rafa Nadal making his interview before the French Open started, complaining the balls are heavy, it's dangerous for the players. I really think that the organizers should change the balls and look at this thing for the future. Honestly, this is dangerous for the player. Guys, for God's sakes, when will you realize that these big 3, they don't care about other players as much as you think? When will you realize that these big 3, they don't like each other as much as you think? Do you think that Nadal likes Federer so much? Do you think that Federer likes Nadal so much? Yeah, when they see each other on sports events and things like that, they take their teeth out and smile. Because of course they will smile. Because they know that all eyes are on them, all cameras are on them. But do you think that they cheer on each other's matches? You think that Federer now sits on his couch in Switzerland and watches Nadal and says, "Oh, Rafa, hope you win your 20th major and equals my record." Do you think so? Do you think Federer is sweeping his hands and says, "Oh, Novak, maybe you hope you win your 18th major," even though that Federer openly, that he has not said openly, but Federer doesn't come along with Novak so much. He comes along more with Rafa. But that doesn't mean that they want each other's success. For God's sakes, just give me the break. Just leave it. So when Rafa says in his interview, the balls are heavy, they are heavier than in the past because they have changed the balls, French Open this year. This is dangerous for the player, honestly. Rafa has always complained. I remember in 2011, he complained the ball was too light, too fast. Rafa, look, I love Rafa Nadal's interviews. In my opinion, he's the most honest one of these big 3. Federer is the biggest liar. Federer is the biggest liar from these big 3. Federer is almost never honest in his interviews. I've seen Federer done horrible matches. He has done over 70 unforced errors. He said, "I didn't do a bad match." For God's sakes, Federer, I have eyes. I have eyes. I am not blind. You cannot fool me. For God's sakes, why do you say you did a good match when you have done over 70 unforced errors? Don't make me mad. I love your playing style. I love your ultra-aggressive playing style. I love your shot making. That's why when I saw you for the first time in that 2001 match against Pistol Pete Sampras, before I saw Federer, Pistol Pete was my favorite because one of my viewers or subscribers asked me, who was your favorite before the big three? It was Pistol Pete Sampras. I love shot makers. I love ultra-aggressive players. I love offensive players. I don't like grinders. I don't like players who wait for his opponent's mistakes. I don't like that. I love players who make a lot of winners. And Federer, of course, is that kind of player. He does a lot of winners. Of course, a lot of unforced errors as well. But when he's on his peak, when he's on fire, he does more winners than unforced errors. But when he's playing bad, of course, he does more unforced errors than winners and losers. But don't come up and lie in front of the cameras when you do a bad match, when you do over. I remember the 2007 French Open final against Rafa Nadal. He did over 70 unforced errors. Over 70 unforced errors. He had over 20 breakpoint opportunities. I don't remember exactly, but over 20 breakpoint opportunities. I don't remember how many times he braked. 1 or 2, maximum 3 times. Maximum 3 times he braked Rafa's serve. And he has guts to sit, to talk in front of the camera and say, I didn't do a bad match. Rafa did a great match. I just get furious. I get furious. I cannot stand it when people, I don't care who it is, Federer, Nadal or Djokovic, to stand in front of the camera and say, I did a good match. Who do you think they will fool? Me, who watch tennis since I can remember my life, who love tennis, who eat, sleep and drink tennis? He can fool me. Pooh, I get so angry. So Federer, he isn't honest at all. The same thing when he goes deep in Grand Slams. Do you look forward to face Rafa Nadal? Yeah, I look forward to face him. I see. You don't look forward to face Rafa Nadal in a French Open final. Who do you think you will fool? Who do you think you will fool? You don't just say it. No, I don't look forward to face him. But if he is in the final, I am up to the challenge. But I wish another opponent. Like Rafa is saying, Rafa always, when he's in Grand Slam finals, if he has won the first match, if Federer is playing the semifinals with another dude, do you look forward to face Federer? No, I don't look. I'm not stupid. I want as easiest opponent as possible. Why should I look forward? Why should I look forward to face a legend like him? But if he's in the final, of course I will take on the challenge. But do I wish him to be in the final? No. I love Rafa Nadal's interviews when it comes to that. But Rafa Nadal is a liar too sometimes, but not as much as Federer. Not. I'm going to take you, for example, when Rafa beats Kyrgios, he talks good about Kyrgios. Oh, Kyrgios is good for the sport, he's a talented player, and things like that. Because he has won, he feels good, he's happy, he has beaten the dude. So when he has beaten the dude, it's all good for him. He is on 7 heaven. But when he loses against Kyrgios, like I have seen him lose. I remember that Acapulco match last year against Kyrgios that Rafa lost. He was pissed off. He was talking trash about Kyrgios. He's not good for the sport. He's a sore loser and things like that. Why? Because Rafa is a sore loser. Because Rafa has lost, and that's why he talks crap about Kyrgios. But when he wins, he talks good about Kyrgios. That is double standards. So Rafa is not always honest as well. More honest than Federer, of course. Federer, like I said, he's the biggest liar from these big three. He's almost never honest in his interviews. Almost never. Rafa is the most honest. Djokovic, he is more honest than Federer at least. Rafa is the most honest one on #1 spot. Djokovic on #2 spot. And Federer, without any shadow of a doubt, he's last on that number. Last. So when Rafa says before the French Open starts, the balls are heavy, dangerous for the players, he doesn't care about the players. Do you understand that? He cares about his chances to be as big as possible to win his 20th Grand Slam title to equal Roger Federer, because he has big ego. All these big three, Federer, Djokovic and Nadal, they have big egos. They don't cheer on each other's results. They don't want each other to win. They want just them to win. Have you not seen Djokovic? He's obsessed with winning. He is obsessed of winning. He can do everything. I hate Djokovic's style. When he is losing, he takes breaks. He takes toilet break. He does everything to destroy his opponent's rhythm. That is, I hate it with Djokovic. That style he has, I hate it. Rafa doesn't do exactly like that, and Federer doesn't do exactly like that. Take, for example, Djokovic in Wimbledon 2018 against Rafa Nadal. I'm not saying he cheated, because he didn't cheat. Like, you know, we have some subscriber who says that all the time during my videos. I've never done a comment about that. I'm doing that for the first time. He didn't cheat. He won Wimbledon 2018, that epic semi-final against Rafa Nadal, deservedly. He deserved to win. But that second match, that second day of the match on Saturday, when the conditions were sunny, Djokovic could have said, we open the roof. It is not rain, it is not night, we can open the roof, because they played with the roof the day before, on Friday. But Djokovic knows that he's a better indoor player than Rafa Nadal. Djokovic knows that if he has the roof, his chances will increase to win the match. So why shouldn't he take the chance? Why? He doesn't care because it is sunny outside. He's not doing any wrong, because when you finish the match, when you end the match with the roof, the rule says when you end the match with the roof, you have the right to continue the match with the roof if players come together and says it's okay. So Rafa didn't want the roof on Saturday, but Djokovic wanted. And when one player wants it, it has to be, it needs to be the roof, because they have ended the match with the roof. They ended the match, they stopped the match with the roof on Friday. So if Djokovic wants the roof, the rule says the roof has to be on. And why did Djokovic want the roof? We all know why. Because his chances was bigger to win with the roof. Did he cheat? No, he didn't cheat. He didn't cheat. But was he ego? Yes. Was he ego? Yes, of course he was. Was he? He didn't want to face Rafa Nadal without roof, because he knew that if I don't have the roof, Rafa will have bigger chance of defeating me. So I will not give Rafa those chances. So he took advantage of the rule and chose to have the roof. These big three are big egos. They don't cheer on each other. They don't like each other. Even though when Federer won the French Open 2009, Rafa says afterwards, I was happy for Federer. Do you think he was happy for Federer? Please, guys, just please, for God's sakes, do you think Rafael Nadal, when Federer was facing Robin Söderling in the 2009 French Open final, do you think Rafael Nadal, he was on his couch in Mallorca and was cheering for Roger Federer to win his first ever French Open title? Do you think so? Of course he didn't. Of course he didn't. The big three are big egos, all three of them. They don't like each other. They don't cheer on each other. Federer is eating his teeth, his fingers back in Switzerland and hoping that Dominic Thiem will win the French Open. Not Rafa Nadal, not Novak Djokovic. So he can be with his 20 majors in the lead. He don't want Rafa to equal his record. He don't want Djokovic to come closer to his record with 18. But if Thiem wins, who cares about Thiem? Thiem is not a threat to Roger Federer's record, Grand Slam record of 20. And will never be. He will never be. So Roger's biggest hope is that Thiem wins the French Open. So when subscribers says to me that Rafa Nadal made that statement before the French Open because he really cares about the other players as well, that is BS talk. He doesn't care about the other players. I'm not saying that he hates the other players. He's not hating them. That is not what I'm saying. But when he does that kind of statement, he speaks about his chances. He speaks about what he believes is best for him, not for the other players. But I'm not saying that he hates the other players. No, I'm not saying that he hates them. No. But when he speaks heavy balls, heavy conditions, this is the heaviest conditions that I've ever seen. He speaks about what he believes is the best for him and worst for him. How did Dominic Thiem speak? He said, I like these conditions, I'm used to these conditions, I prefer these conditions, we have bad weather in Austria, so this is not anything new for me. He speaks totally different, he was not complaining. Rafael Nadal, he complains when things are not in his favor. Period! Period! Rafael Nadal complains when things are not in his favor. When things are in his favor, he doesn't complain. Why? Because when things are in his favor, he's happy because he knows that the chances to win are bigger. So the big three all of these three are big egos. All of them are big egos. Don't never forget that, guys. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and bye-bye.